Nas targeted by Outlawz, Young Noble over Tupac lies on fiery diss song Euthanasia. Now I did see this interview, and I've heard this stories from different people talking about that day that Tupac and Nas met face to face and they squashed their beef. Young Noble's part of the Outlawz was there with Tupac that day and he saw it from his point of view. So he had the first-hand look, first-hand feel, the whole nine, right? So let's get into the story. Nas has been called out by the Outlawz rapper Young Noble on his Fury new track Euthanasia, which accuses him of gossiping and lying about Tupac. On a song which is over 7 minutes long, Noble fires a number of direct shots at the Queensbridge rapper, starting with his storied feud with Jay-Z. I get it. Young Noble, you want to defend your friend Tupac. That was your boy. If the story is inaccurate or incorrect, can you talk about it on shows? Of course you can. Can you talk about it amongst your peoples? Of course you can. But you got to make a 7-minute long diss for something that happened over 20-something years ago? Like, really? Why now do you bring that up? It's just mind-boggling to me. And he goes, Nas. Now, I'm not going to rap it, but he goes, Nas, listen, you lost your battle to Jay. False, right there. False right there. Nas, listen, you lost your battle to Jay. Must I remind you, he blanked your baby mama. Ooh. Man, he got to bring that up. Right there, you say that. Gloves are off. There's a couple things you don't talk about. That's one of them. He dissed you, then signed you, ninja. He raps. I have heard that argument before. He signed him at the end of that, all that. Like, man, be quiet. I'm going to sign you. Be quiet. Go stand over there, right? I have heard that argument. Do I agree with that? No. I don't agree with it. I thought that was a moment of unity where they said, look, let's squash everything. Okay, whatever, let's work together. Boom. This is how we squash, let bygones be bygones. And I'm sure this is when he signed to Def Jam. I'm sure Nas got a heck of a deal, right? That was the first time he left Columbia Records. Now, if you're Nas, that's going to, your eyes going to do one of these and tweak a little bit. Because, those are some fighting words right there. But he is over 50 years old. The Outlawz'S MC then accused Nas of lying about history with Pac. When we seen you in the park, we was 40 deep. It was over right there. Pac let you breathe. Lying, talking about you turned Pac onto Hennessy. He ain't never vouched, so I'm riding on his frenemies. Pac let you breathe. I don't know about that one. Would it have been some damage done on both sides? Absolutely. Did Nas really put Tupac onto Hennessy? Maybe not for the first time. Maybe he just like, hey, let's drink some Hennessy. Maybe. That could happen. How many times have I bumped into friends and I put them on a drink that they drank before possibly, but now all of a sudden that's their drink? Maybe that's the case. I sound like I'm defending Nas, right? And maybe because I'm biased. I'm a big Nas fan. He's definitely in my top 5 of all greatest of all time, or maybe even closer to 3. It's one of those. So maybe I'm biased, right? He continues. Noble also goes one step further and drags Nas's family into the diss song. Man, don't do that, bro. Don't do that, bro. And he goes, got your godson's tap, want to be just like Pac. Followed your daughter on the gram, might shoot my shot. Man, the disrespect, bro. Why go there? You're really on that trying to get his attention, bringing up his baby mama, bringing up his shooting his shot at his daughter. And he also raps about hooking up with Esco's ex-wife and baby mother. Kells calls Bravehearts the weakest group ever and threatens to beat the brakes off you and your brother Jungle. Nas has yet to respond to the song. Why are you going there, man? Don't you know Nas can ether whatever you're trying to accomplish in this beef? Why? I just don't get it. The Illmatic legend isn't the only rapper Young Noble has the issues with in recent weeks. During an interview with Art of Dialogue last month, he called that Snoop Dogg over apparently inaccurate Tupac stories involving his confrontation with Nas after the 1996 MTV Music Awards. And he goes, what I don't like about over the years, how the exchange has all these different stories, he said. The truth is, Nas walked up, it was about 7 of them. It was about 30 or 40 of us. He didn't skip a beat. He didn't tuck his head. He walked up. He wanted to talk to Pac. It was a gangster as it gets. He walked up and had a conversation. Nas was cool. The corny blank is 20 blanking years. Everybody got a wild story about what happened that night. Nas's brother Jungle talking. That's what we talked about. I was about to shoot Tupac. He would not have made it out the blanking park. They were surrounded. It was nothing they could do. Noble continued. this amazing wild story that I done heard over the years. I'm gonna start with Snoop Dogg. Nothing but love for Snoop Dogg, but he told a wild version. I hope it was the edibles when he said this one. He said Nas had Tupac surrounded and all that. But to Snoop's defense, he didn't come with Pac to the park. Snoop got there in his vehicle with the security, and all these ninjas that we had with us, they was outside the venue. All the Jersey ninjas, they was outside waiting for us to come out. So in my mind, I'm thinking maybe Snoop don't realize that all these ninjas were actually with Tupac. They was not with Nas. Nas himself has called Snoop's recollection inaccurate. So I'm gonna leave it at that. Young Noble, bro. Okay, I get it. You want to defend your story to get the real story for Tupac. I get it. You want to do that. Say that on the story. But the way you came at Nas, pretty disrespectful. Especially after 20 plus years. This happened in 1996. That incident. You know, how many stories can you recall accurately after all that time? When people ask you, I might remember it different. Snoop remembered it different. You remember it different. People that were there probably remembered it different. Do I respect Nas? Yes. Do I respect Pac? Yeah. Do I respect the Outlawz? Yeah. But this to me is a little corny, bro. If you wanted to talk directly about Nas' bad recollection of the matter, saying he walked up 7 deep, but you know he kept it gangster, he didn't tuck away for 40 people. You were in New York. He's 7 deep inside there, but you're in New York. I'm sure he make a phone call, Queensbridge coming. Not to say Death Row wouldn't have thrown down, Tupac and his entourage wouldn't have thrown down. He was there with Big Suge. He was there with all the Death Row artists, the Jersey people. Jersey's not too far from New York. I get it, if you want to talk about that. But don't talk about Nas's baby mama saying Jay-Z did things with her. You guys already know what I'm saying. Saying that you lost the battle to Jay. I guess you can get away with that one. I disagree. He ethered them. That's right. Ethered them. I disagree with that one. And then don't talk about his daughter. Don't bring up the daughter. He said he's going to follow his daughter and he might shoot his shots. Disrespect right there, bro. Disrespect. Don't go there. Remember when Tupac said about Biggie what he did to his wife? That didn't end well. If you want to talk about Nas, talk about Nas, man. Don't talk about his family, right? Now, do you think that Nas bit Tupac's tattoo on his stomach, the Godson versus Thug Life? Maybe, but at the same time, everybody was getting similar tats. Did Nas put Tupac onto Hennessy? Again, I think possibly not for the very first drink, but maybe that's the drink that they was drinking, and I don't know that full story, right? You wildin', bro. Don't do that, man. How old are you, bro? Coming up with these diss songs to Nas. Nas right now is, I mean, and you're, not to say, I'm gonna get in trouble. I'm really carefully selecting my words because I don't want to go over the line. But what I will say is, bro, you didn't have to go there. He did not have to do that. Will Nas respond? Possibly not. If I'm Nas, I'm not gonna respond because that's gonna get ugly, right? And you don't want to, bro. You want to respect Tupac's memory. Outlawz obviously very close to Tupac. Young Noble very close to Tupac. Tupac and Nas had already squashed it. Leave it at that. Leave it squashed. Nas has always talked nice or big Tupac after they squashed their beef. Leave it at that. Don't reignite this flame, right? Just don't do it.